Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for taking the time to join me always. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the energy for today. So let's get into it. We are just coming off of a full moon in Aquarius. I apologize. I did not get a chance to upload any content yesterday. It was kind of busy on my end, definitely full moon energy in full swing. So we are kind of dealing with the reverberations of that today. Usually the energy lasts a couple days before. You can feel it coming in, a couple days after. So just try to give yourself extra love, extra grace as you're navigating some of the harder aspects of life. There is a lot of tension in the air, and so we need to be gentle with ourselves. We need to be patient as well. Patience in the process. There is a lot happening that, you know, we feel assured, like we know our choices, we know how we want to move in certain situations with people, but then at the same time, we want to make sure that we are being mindful of how we're executing those decisions, making sure that we're not being too hot-headed. We are at the tail end of Leo season, and so fire energy can definitely trigger people, especially when they're not getting what they want or what they think they deserve. And sometimes we just make stupid choices, right? So just be really conscious of what you're choosing, how you're choosing it, how you're engaging, because we don't have a lot of options right now. There's more limitation, more restriction in the astrology. So we got to use what we have, is what I'm hearing. We'll start off with this energy cleansing, set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any unwanted, low vibey energy, negative energy, etc., things that are causing blocks and obstacles in our life. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well. Messages, guidance you might need from spirit, and then be open to receive. And I will give you a little blessing as well. Okay. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for our highest and best. Pain, anger, frustration, fear, doubt, uncertainty, lack of worth, lack of value, impatience. Cleanse it and remove it from our being. Help us to be clear and open to the messages being communicated, and help me to be a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, unfortunately, there is just a lot of tension. And, what I will say is we have a certain level of awareness and support within ourselves. We're dealing with a lot of people, situations that we've seen before. And now it's time to put the lessons, put the wisdom into practice. So understanding our past experiences, how we were interacting with people, individuals, what we chose for ourselves, that beginning card popped up again, and where it landed us, right? Was it a good situation or a good situation? Yeah, you can just even ask yourself that. Was it good? Was it what you wanted? Oh my gosh, third time that popped out. Third time. Okay, we're putting it back in and we're starting. So obviously new beginnings are on the horizon. We got this card during the weekly reading. We're picking up a lot right now intuitively. I've been a broken record around this, but with Neptune in Pisces, Saturn's also in Pisces, we're very aware of where we need to go, the direction, the path in front of us. We might not understand all the pieces, but we have enough of a framework that we really have to trust our insight. I'm seeing this as, it's we're getting that direction, we're getting that information from more of the upper chakras, the subtler layers, the intuition. So this is a game of trust, right? Trusting in yourself today, trusting in what you see, sense, and feel, especially around relationships, especially relationships that are a little bit sticky, that maybe it's messier than what it needs to be, but you're still kind of forced to be in this dynamic. There's something about you listening to yourself, listening to intuitive guidance that is going to really kind of connect you with, I love this Dharma card. It's one of my favorites in this deck. But it is like a complete activation, right? A complete activation, a level up, where you're actually like putting into practice what I was talking about earlier, putting into practice those lessons and feeling this like energy of strength and power. It's work, right? There still is work behind it. Don't get it twisted. It's not just like, oh, I did this. Now I don't have to do anything else. No, unfortunately, that is not the energy right now. And we do that in and of itself can be a really slippery slope. We have to be super mindful around that. Okay, recognizing what we are worshiping, what we are giving our time, our attention to, you know? And I'm hearing this as like fear, anxiety. We're being motivated out of those things. And I'm hearing there is some disempowerment that's happening. So, you know, yeah, that's what I mean. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety, if you're feeling a lot of stress, or you're doing things because of what someone else or a group of people is going to think about you, etc., that really needs to be scrutinized and looked at. Okay, so we're getting the spirit card. So there is a lot unfolding in our energy today that is requiring us to be in those higher chakras, to be in more of what I would deem our like spiritual center, or how you kind of ascribe to that value of living the best version of yourself. It can be spiritually based. It doesn't have to. Just take what resonates. I'm not here to like trigger anybody or make anybody feel they have to think or believe a certain thing. There is power in what we believe and what kind of keeps us in that middle road, ascribing to higher morals and values. And that's what this is all about. Again, not in a way to be, it's not about perfection. It's not about perfection. You don't have to be anything other than what you are. But what Spirit is asking you to do is trust your instincts, trust your insights, trust what you're seeing, sensing, and feeling, and then do something about it. Because the more that we worship something that is not good for us, and what do I mean by worship? I mean, again, it's disempowerment. It's disempowerment of self. It's saying that something or someone is better than us, or maybe we're looping ourselves into a cycle where it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And I'm saying this as well because we're aware of these things on a surface level. If we were having a conversation, right? You know, you would tell me, hey, I'm aware. I see this. I know this. But the action steps are what have to change, right? We're getting the Fool. I love these decks, so I probably will say that a bajillion times throughout these readings this week, as long as I'm using them. But I feel like the first step, right? The first step, yes, is listening and trusting to yourself. But then now Spirit wants us to take action, actually doing something about it, doing something about what we see, sense, and feel. And empowering ourselves in a way. This is such a powerful energy for you today. We have Dharma and we have the Hierophant. So making sure that our ego is not getting in the way. Dharma and the Hierophant alike are exactly what I was just describing, that value of being on a spiritual path or having something, you know, morals, values that we ascribe to that make us be, that force us to use our wisdom, our strength, our power. It is a little bit of tradition and order, but in the way that, like, it's about honoring you, right? At the end of the day, it's about honoring your authentic self. It's about honoring your heart, your mind, your soul. Someone is seeing this differently, you differently, understanding you differently. It is a little bit of a shock for them. Okay. The Chariot, yeah. I'm going to get into this worship card a little bit more because it's in our blocked energy right now, and it's what's key. We've been seeing people lingering, past people, or people that have the same energy of the past. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull a little bit on this Emperor energy. Okay, so change within a relationship, change within a dynamic. Like I said, something seeing you differently, being very drawn to you, very attracted to you, wanting to understand how they didn't see this before. Also looking at themselves with a more critical eye, scrutinizing their behavior, how they showed up, how they interacted with you. You're both watching each other, and you're both trying to cultivate something new. Remember, we had that new beginnings card pop up a lot. I feel like, yeah, so you guys want something, or maybe you just have to work together is what I'm hearing, right? This might even just be someone that you don't really want to have to deal with, but you have to deal with. And this dynamic, it's showing that it is blocking you. There's something about this dynamic that is making you disempower yourself. And disempower yourself in a way where you're giving them the power. I understand that's what disempower means, but it's like, you know, not only am I going to become subservient to you, but then I'm putting you on this pedestal, acting as if this person is God or like above all else, you know, the final judgment is what I'm hearing. And it's not allowing you to stand in this power. You need to have more self-regulation and control. Like I was saying earlier, the astrology is asking us to think through things before we act. But it's hard right now because whatever sadness, pain, grief that is lingering for you is really clouding your judgment. And it goes back to that Aquarian energy I was talking about. Sun, Moon, and Mercury are all tensely aspected to Uranus right now. And Uranus rules Aquarius. It is this value of really going after what we want, what our wish fulfillment is. But it also has this rebellious undertone. So we have to be willing to rebel against the norm. It's hard to do right now because when we're seeing through the lens of pain and grief, well, unfortunately, then we make decisions out of that pain and grief. And in all honesty, that is what keeps us looped into these cycles. That is what keeps us disempowered, is when we're making choices. Well, I don't want you to have that. Well, I'm not going to do what you want me to do because F you, right? Did I say that in this? This is my second time recording this reading, but if I didn't say it earlier, I apologize. But there definitely is this like F you attitude going on in the collective right now. Part of that is the fire energy. Part of that is the tense aspects that we're seeing with Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. It's a lot right now. It's tense, right? So basically we have we're limited. There's not a lot we have to work with. Okay. So we got to figure out again, like what resources do we have? And I feel like we do have to go out and maybe get some more with this Page of Wands. I do feel child or baby energy, so you might have a child in a dynamic, in a situation, or you might be a caretaker to someone, because you do feel very protective of an energy. You feel protective of something that feels really important to you, very special to you. This could even be like the start of a business or, you know, a hobby or something that you're really kind of investing into. That new beginning, that baby energy that we were talking about. And, you know, I feel like you're almost putting more energy towards how can I protect this versus gaining resources. And it's more important to put yourself out there right now. You're spending a little too much time it's thinking about things, but it's thinking about the problems and not about the solutions. That's what it is. And so when we think about the problems, it's that same value, then we react to the problems. We're not necessarily finding that solution. There's that conflict energy right there. 5 of Wands. Because you are conflicted. You are conflicted about how things are playing out. You don't like it. It's not fun. It is requiring an element of humility. That's not fun, you know. No one likes to be humble. No. But just that value of like, especially, I'm saying most specifically to the people, the dynamics that are a little bit more challenging for us. But it's like, it's like, what's that phrase I'm hearing? Like, it's like, waiting, right? How do I hear it? Oh, sacrificing a little bit now so that the long-term result is way better. It's for your own sanity is what I'm hearing. It's for your own sanity. Sometimes we do have to sidestep. Sometimes we do have to, quote unquote, let someone win or let them have that feeling of like power and control so we can move forward, so it's less of a headache for ourselves. Yeah, because we are towing the line of repeating old patterns. It's stressing us out. It's causing a lot of fear, unnecessary fear. And this actually is something that Spirit is like asking you to proactively walk away from. It's affecting your happiness. It's affecting your fulfillment. And I feel like if it is not addressed now, then it's just going to get a little bit messier down the road, you know? Being honest. Being honest with yourself. Being honest with others around you. Again, in context, because, this is a tricky energy. We have to be aware of like the places that people or situations are trying to stir the pot, trying to make us feel crazy, trying to limit us, trying to get us, don't say that thing, you know, keeping us in recluse, etc., right? It goes back to that element of disempowerment. That is like a heavy, heavy theme right now. And we want to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a position that is, again, just going to cause more chaos, more struggle for ourselves. Spirit is asking you to be a little bit on the straight and narrow today. I'm sorry. But it's bringing things to a close. It's closing out cycles. It has a purpose behind it, right? As long as we keep feeding the energy, then it will linger, then it will remain. So finding ways of cutting the energy off or releasing yourself from it, not getting so emotionally invested in it, not fearing worst case scenario about everything. Yeah, I love salt because salt is such a great purifier and cleanser. And there are a lot of practices that you can do if you like ritual ceremony to really just kind of protect yourself, protect your space, etc. I just thought of a funny story I had. I am not going to get into that. But anyway, so if you're interested in doing something like that, there's a lot of different information on the interwebs. Definitely look it up. But it is that energy of really purifying yourself. You could even do like an Epsom salt bath, or put some bowl of salt in Epsom salt in your shower, mix some herbs into it that feel like they are helping you cleanse and purify. Eucalyptus, sage, lavender, things that really are giving you a little bit more balance, peace, and calm as you do let go. You are letting go, but there's some things that are still lingering. There's some things that are still keeping you intertwined. Yeah, cut it off, amputate it, let it go. You don't need it, right? You don't need it at all. And if anything, if you allow it to remain in your environment, it's just gonna fester more and more and more, right? It's when all it does is expand. And sometimes we do just need to cut it off. Sometimes we do just need to disconnect in a way that protects our own sanity, protects other people's sanity, people that we are caretaking for, things that we want to see grow, that we want to see blossom, and making sure that you're not keeping that door open for something to infiltrate. So I know it's a little heavy right now. I apologize. I'll try to get a reading in this evening. I think I'm a little busy tonight. I don't know, but I'll check out my schedule, which is in here. And I'll, I guess if it's up, it's up, right? So, but until then, thank you so much for your time and energy always. I hope that you found messages that resonated for you here. If you did, definitely drop comments below. I love to hear not only, but I also love to connect. I love to connect, share a little love and blessing, all the good vibes. Thank you for your time and energy always. It blesses my heart. All the love and blessings your way.